Hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we're live in the kitchen on a Friday evening. And we've got some real fun stuff. Which one of these two products will make Oh, that's me. Hang on a second. I need to turn the volume down on that. Believe it or not, it's actually a cutting board. Here's the data. I wonder what was going on. Um, anyway, we're live on a Friday evening. We've got hopefully a fun program for you tonight. As you know, our Friday evening, what we try to do is to do some cooking that is budget friendly and also leftover friendly for those who are interested in that. And today we're going to be doing also an evening about let's add more of the good stuff to our diet. And so what we're going to be doing is I've got a list over there, so I've got to look at it while I talk to you. We're going to be doing some dinner rolls, and I've done some multi-grain ones that I'm just going to cook. You know, it's part of my meal prepping, right? And then I'm going to do a turkey korma. Happy Thanksgiving weekend, everybody. I thought you guys might like to know about this in case you've got some leftover turkey for those of you who are celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend. And then I'm going to make a raspberry beetroot smoothie, and I'll explain to you why. And if I've got time, I'm going to do a brunch type ramen omelette. It sounds really counterproductive in there somehow, but I want to tell you it works. And so that's what we're going to attempt to do, and we're going to do it all live, except for the fact that I've already made the dough for the rolls, and here they are. And what I'm doing is I'm putting them between two similar silicone molds, all right, like this. So if you like, there are now 6 mini Dutch ovens going on. And I'm going to put them in the halogen so that they can cook while we chat. So just let me do that first of all. And I got asked this week, why do I use the halogen when I've got a nice big oven? The answer is the halogen is like a big fishbowl, and that's the only power I'm using. Basically, I will be doing a little bit of cooking here in the rice cooker just because I want it close to me as we're doing stuff. But why would I heat up the whole of that oven when I can use just that little bit instead? Now, you know this is going to drive me insane if I watch that, so we'll just make that a little tidier. All right, so how much time have I got here? I'm going to put them on for 30 minutes, and then we'll see. All right. So a very warm welcome to those who are here, Isabel, Sharon, and Autumn. Nice to see you, Autumn. How are the twins? And I'm hoping that you will forgive me that I've been sick this week. For those of you who missed it, I talked about it at the lunchtime broadcast. And not only that, you probably heard that here in southern British Columbia, we got the storm of a lifetime. We had more rain in 24 hours than we normally get for the whole month of November, and November is normally a very rainy month for us. We had, anyway, it was horrific. It was all talked about in the lunchtime broadcast, just so you know. But I would like to apologize to Isabel, and no, actually not to Isabel, to Sandy and Kimmy, because I missed their birthdays this week. And that was really bad, not like me at all, but so be it. And I wanted to make sure that we give Trina a happy 50th wave. She's going to be 50 on the 22nd. So we'll do another one on Sunday for her. And for those of you who are not in the States, the United States actually celebrates Thanksgiving this weekend. We Canadians did it last month because we like to be ahead of the game. And we just heard from Erin that she's going in for a surgery on December the 1st. So if there's any other important information that I've forgotten about that we can share, please let me know. Or if you've got a birthday coming up that we don't know about, just let us know so we can add it to our database. And hi to Jody, our admin, who does a wonderful job of researching. She was just stellar over the lunchtime broadcast. She was off doing research for me without my even asking her to, and it was amazing what a great job she did. And this is the lady who's not well. Right, so we've got the dinner rolls. And now the reason I'm making dinner rolls is I found, some of you will remember, I had all my neighbors, not all of them, but I had about a dozen of my neighbors come over for a potluck last Thursday. And one of the things that happened is somebody brought some dinner rolls and left them. And, I'm sort of always a little bit wary about eating too much bread because I have to watch my blood glucose. But what I did was I allowed myself to have one every day. And what I did was I had a cheese and cucumber bun, dinner roll type bun every morning for breakfast. That gave me the rest of the day to work off the sugar in that bun. And it worked. And so I decided what I did was I weighed out bread dough, and I just have 2 ounces, each of the little buns are 2 ounces of dough. That would be about 50 grams for the rest of the world. So they're in there cooking away. Let's now talk about why do I want to cook a turkey korma. First of all, I've got some turkey was on at a really good price this time of the year. And so I bought a couple of turkey breasts and I cooked them up and then put them in individual size servings. All right. So I knew that I had some turkey and now I'm looking at fun ways to use it up. So that's the one reason. The other reason is because I found out about the benefits of eating a curry, even a mild one. So my question to you all is, how many of you eat curry? And if so, how often? While you're doing that, type away. I just want to get something out here because I need to remind myself I want to make some. Have I got enough in here? Yes, I have. All right, that's going to be some papadums because there's good reason to eat curry. All right, so here we go. They say that curry may benefit heart health by reducing heart disease factors, all right, like high cholesterol and triglyceride levels, and improving blood flow. So for me, this is all very important stuff. Some research actually suggests that curry powder may have a powerful anti-cancer property. Mind you, we got research that says everything, but think about that, all right? Consuming curry powder may help reduce the free radical damage, also called oxidative stress, thus lowering disease risk. Turmeric, that's in curry powder, may significantly improve markers of mental decline and reduce the risk of developing Alzheimer's. I wonder if you all know that. It may help lower blood sugar levels. It may improve feelings of fullness, and it has antifungal and antibacterial properties. It may boost digestive health. So I'm pretty sure you're getting the general idea. It's not a bad idea. Jody's saying that she loves curry, and they also make curry chicken salad. Yes, good idea. So I was thinking just with leftover turkey, think about some different ways of using it up. And I thought korma might be a really great idea. So what I'm going to do is I've got my little rice steamer here just so I can cook things quickly while I chat to you. And the first thing I'm going to put in is some of I'm going to put in some olive oil. And I'm going to put in some red onion. Doesn't really matter what onion. Now then, for the new viewers, you are not going to get the perfect way to cook. I do these little things to show you, use up what's in your kitchen. Don't go for perfection. And that way you will waste less. In with the onion, I've chopped up a little bit of fresh ginger. So I'm going to huck that in. That well-known culinary term, huck. Okay, now we'll put that into. All right, and question is, I'm going to put a little bit of water in there just to help it. I've got some lemon water right here. That will do. Oh, I don't have to do that. It's got a strainer on it. All right, so we're going to cook up the onion and the ginger. Now, if you like garlic, obviously huck the garlic in there. As you guys know, I cannot eat garlic. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to it. But, feel free to add that. Jody is adding in here that korma is an Indian dish of usually braised meat or vegetables cooked with spices and often yogurt or cream. And I've got both of those going for us today, Jody, just so you know. But you can do a chicken korma, you can do a turkey korma, you can do a beef korma, you could even do a pork one if you're into pork, or even lamb korma is basically you can do something like this with any meat that you either have fresh or, in my case, I've got this pre-cooked, but it was frozen in individual servings. Jody likes my international cooking term, hack it in. Yes. Right. So we've got this lot. There we go. That's starting to. And what we're going to do is just cook up the onion until it's soft and translucent, see-through, and preferably starts to caramelize a little bit. We don't want it overcooked, but we want it well cooked. And then what we're going to do is add in, I've got some yellow pepper, some red pepper. I've also got some cashew nuts. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind those cashew nuts up because we want that in our sauce. Yum. Now, how many? Some. Now, by the way, I just wanted, for those of you again who are new, I cheat a lot. I buy mixed nuts and I just pulled out the cashew nuts. It's like, and it's the easy way. I'm going to make a noise now, people, so bear with me. Okay, so I just put it in my magic bullet, and now the nuts are nice and ground up. Yeah. And what we're going to be putting in there okay, so we're going to put all this in together. We're going to put in. Now I've got mild curry powder, all right? And what I want to also discuss with you is the reason a lot of people don't cook curry is it's too hot. Korma is not hot. It's spicy, but not hot, all right? And so I'm using a mild curry powder, and I'll huck some of that in, remember? So I would say I've got about a teaspoon of mild curry powder in there. Because we've got a turkey going there, I'm going to put a little bit of paprika in there. There we go. I personally love cumin, so I'm going to put some cumin in there. By the way, cumin is a great addition to your vinaigrette. If you're making vinaigrette for your salads, cumin and honey in a vinaigrette, just mind-blowing. All right, so there we go. We've got those. That all sounds good. I'm going to just mix that all up again. Excellent. Okay, smelling good. Just onion and ginger so far. What I've got to add to it is we're going to need some yogurt. I've got some. Now, I know this is a surprise for some of you. In Canada, we can buy yogurt in a big packet like this, really cost effective. It's just I have to remember that before I use it, I need to sort of mix it up a bit. But we're going to have some yogurt. And if necessary, I've also got some cream that we can add. I wanted to give you... I don't know if you guys do this, but I'm always trying to add vegetables to what I eat. So at the beginning of the week, I literally I use a potato peeler and I make peelings of carrots and zucchini, and I've got some leeks in there. I've got all sorts of, some parsnips. All in there, right? And what I do is I cook it all up and then keep it in the jar. And then every day I take at least one helping out during the day. I add it to omelets. I add it to almost anything I'm cooking. And today I'm going to be adding it in here. But I've also got some left over. I've got some mashed potato that's left over, and I've got some root vegetables that are left over. So I'm going to be adding all that in. Yum. Because it can all add. And now then, we've got to think about when we've got this cooked, what are we going to put it on? Now, a lot of you will put it on rice. Yay. I've decided I'm going to put mine on a spaghetti squash. And I cooked up a spaghetti squash earlier this week. And again, it's all in little individual servings. So I probably will put 2 servings instead of rice, and that will make it healthier. Now, the other thing is we're going to need some coconut milk. And it doesn't matter whether you have powdered coconut milk or tinned coconut milk. All right? That's up to you how you want to use it. I'm going to use tinned just because I've got it, and I will keep my powdered. The thing is with powdered coconut milk, basically you can have it for a long, long time, and I would recommend that you do. So I'm going to open this up. Now, coconut milk is merely fresh coconut that is mixed with water, pulverized, and then strained. All right? So it's nothing fancy. However, because some of us are concerned with things like sodium and so forth, let me just make sure. Look at that. That look good. Okay. So let's have a look here just so that you all know. It is only 1 gram of sugar in 1/3 of a cup, but and only 1% or 30 milligrams of sodium. So pretty low on both. What is it bad for? I know it's not good for something. What is it not good for? Oh, the saturated and trans fat. That's the bad stuff. All right, Jody is just making sure you all know that 1 cup of spaghetti squash is only about 31 calories or 5.5 grams of carbs with 17 milligrams of sodium. All right, so that's why I'm inclined to use it rather than rice. Okay, the onions are looking pretty good. So I'm going to put some I'm going to put in about 1/3 of a can, I think. Now, does that already look smooth? My favorite part about cooking for you is I get to enjoy all this stuff. All right, so I'm going to mix that in with the nuts and the spices. That looks good. Oh, yeah. Now then, in here, I am, as this is nearly cooked now, the onion, I'm now going to add the root vegetables and a little bit of leftover potato. It can all add into the sauce. Here we go. And then I've got yellow peppers, and the more colors we have in there, the better. All right. So I've got tomatoes and yellow peppers, lots of color. And we're going to mix this in, but I think I'm going to add a little bit of milk to this because it needs to be a little runnier. Come on. There we go. Actually, I think I'm going to put a little bit more of that coconut in there. Oh, that smells good, people. Where's the spoon? And a little bit more milk. Oops. It is tasty. So remember, you can use coconut milk. You can also use powdered coconut milk, and that's important to know. Now, as most of this is pre-cooked, it's not going to take very long. we forgot the yogurt. All of us. Okay, so we're going to put some yogurt in there as well. Yogurt's good for you, Jody, right? So I'm just topping that up with some vanilla yogurt. That'll add to the taste. Okay, and I'm going to put that in just after we've allowed this to cook up a little bit. Okay, and we're going to put the meat in. And I've got plenty of that. I'm going to throw in some extra vegetables. This has also got some mushroom in it, so this is my add extra vegetable bowl. And let's put the turkey in. All right. All right, I'm just reading some comments here. Hi, Rensky, good to see you. Jody's saying turmeric needs fat to be absorbed fully, so the coconut milk is perfect. Isabel's saying, do you know if it's true that you need pepper with turmeric in order to have the full effect? Yes, I heard that was yes, but let's see what Jody said. Black pepper makes turmeric even more potent. So just remember that. Now we've got, I think I started with the black pepper. Maybe I didn't. So here's my pepper. Thank you for mentioning that. I've actually got black, red, and white pepper in here. So we're just going to grind that up. Yum. All right. It needs more of something. Gonna put some more curry powder in there. Remember, it's much easier to add more curry powder than to take it away. Okay. Now, for those of you who are brilliant cooks, you do know you could do this from scratch and start with all the right herbs and put it all together. But I'm trying to do this to make it easy for people that you can make a quick meal with some good stuff. While that is warming up, what are we going to do with the rest of our coconut milk? What would you do with leftover coconut milk? Let's have some ideas. I'm thinking coconut soup, Thai coconut soup would be one possibility. The other is you can freeze it. Did you know that? Can. Please notice can. freeze it. You put it into ice cube trays and freeze it. And then whenever you want to add a little bit of coconut milk taste to anything, you can just pull out a couple of cubes. Absolutely, Jody, add it to a smoothie. And as we're going to be making a smoothie later on, I'm going to leave it in the can for now. All right, so any questions? I'm thinking I might just add some green onion in there. I've got chives. Hold on a second. Homegrown chives. So I'm going to add some of that in. Green. Yeah, it's another color. It's probably enough. And just a reminder for those of you who are new, if you have chives left over, just cut them up like this and put them in your fridge, and they will freeze dry in the fridge, just in case you don't know that. And if you want to know what do they look like when they're freeze dried, like that. So oh, yeah, that's definitely tasting a lot better. Isabel's saying she never has coconut milk left over. All right, so that's a good thing. I wanted to just remind you all that if you put too much paprika in, or if you put too much curry powder in, all you need to do is add more yogurt or add more. You can actually add cream to it. I probably, before I serve this, will add some fresh cream to it, just to give it an even more rich taste. Yummy, yummy. And the other thing is, you can also serve it with a cucumber and yogurt dish on the side, which helps. This actually isn't a hot curry. This is a mild curry. I want all the benefits of eating curry without the heat. And so I just thought it would be a really good idea. Now, while that's cooking, I wanted to let you know that, have any of you had any really good money-saving tips around cooking this week? And while you're typing, I'm going to tell you that I realized that I have 2 flats of ramen noodles in my house, that I had them stocked up ready for the pandemic problems. And although ramen is not healthy, remember that most of the damage is in the powder that they put in, the seasoning, all the MSG and everything else is in there. And so what I wanted to do was to show you how to make brunch with ramen noodles, but without the seasoning packet. So, and you can buy a whole flat for like next to nothing. And it's really, it's great. You can actually crumble them over a salad. You can crumble it up and use it as, to put in with some snacks and stuff over the holiday period. So think about that. The other thing was that I managed to pick up a whole flat of baked beans. So start looking at your store. If you can buy a flat, do it. Because the price, I think I ended up paying about $1 a can for these are baked beans in maple syrup, which, by the way, 24% sodium, just so you know, but 60% fiber. And that's why I like to have baked beans. I normally serve about half a can because I know that beans are a great protein. I'm sure that the maple syrup isn't a great protein, but it makes me want to eat it. Yes, Jody was saying to me earlier today, and she's repeating it here, that Lionel bought us some Parmesan cheese rinds, all right? And she adds that to soups and stews. It's a great trick to add depth of flavor for very little cost, all right? To just buy the rind from a Parmesan cheese. All right, so here we go. And there it is. It is all cooking very nicely. Let me just do another taste test here. That is tasty. Now, obviously, you can add more seasoning to it as you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some away. And just remember that, oh, that was hot. Remember that most of this was already pre-cooked. So I'm just really just warming it up now. All right, so that's one serving. And then this one is going to be the one that I eat. So how does that look? And obviously, if you want to garnish it at the end, maybe some more green onion on top. And if you happen to have some, maybe some coconut. Desiccated coconut on top of that. Oops, there we go. And what I'm going to do is just put the lid on this, let that cool down. How quick was that? Good. Jeannie's saying she's continuing to buy extra coffee as the prices rise. I want to tell you, I have got 2.5 tubs of coffee, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 packets of coffee. Every time coffee goes on sale at all, I buy it. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, my trick, and it works, is to buy cheap coffee. Like whenever coffee goes on sale, buy cheap coffee and mix it 50-50 with good quality coffee. You will not know the difference. You will think it's all good quality. So there we go. So this is going to cool down and we're ready. So nice and easy. But remember, why are we doing it? We're doing it because of the goodness of all the spices that are in curry. Just going to taste a bit more. Yep. And I actually can make that even stronger. It's still very mild, so I'm just going to sprinkle a bit more on top. There we go. How's that? Nice and easy. Now, if you want to add cream to it, then just add some just before you serve it. Yeah, Sandy's saying, I always buy extra coffee when it's on sale. You can't run out of coffee. No. So that to me is surprisingly easy and very tasty. I need to take a picture of that, don't I? That's what I forget to do when I'm cooking, and I'll grab it to eat later and forget to take the picture. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I've just put some water in there, put the lid back on, put it back on to start boiling a bit, and what it will do is it will self-clean most of my steamer. I so want to eat this. But I can do that later. So I just got it in my little bowl. I love this bowl. And it's, it can just stay here, and I will just quickly nuke it before I eat it. All right. Put that away, put that away, put that away, that away, that away. And I'm just going to wipe this down before we get on to the next thing. I want to check if the rolls are cooked. They look so cute. I actually bake my bread until it's 210 inside. I don't know about the rest of you. Especially when I'm making, bread with, I've got whole wheat in there and rye in there. It's really quite a few different flours in there. Types of flour, rather. Okay, so those are done. So I can take those out of there. Oh, and I did, just so you know, I did have some sesame seeds on here as well. I think they're perfect, right? And then what I will do is tomorrow morning, I will cut it in half, and I'll put a slice of cheese in there and some cucumber, and that'll be what I have to start my day. So we can tell they're pretty hollow. That's good. Sandy, are you still making your own bread? I wonder. Just going to let those cool off. Then, for those of you who don't know about Papadums, all right? I'm not paid to promote these, but these are the ones I always buy. And in case you don't know how to cook them, you know I want some. All right, what I do is I take a large dinner plate. And I put some paper towel down. And then they come like this. They just wafer thin, literally. Just put one down. And fire up the mister. Sprinkle a little oil on it. Put the next one down. Sprinkle a little oil on it. Put the next one down. Sprinkle a little oil on it like that. Take the pressure off the mister. And then I put another paper towel on the top. Normally I do 5 at a time. I've got 3 here. And I'm just going to put it in for a minute. And just to, so that we know what we're dealing with here, Papadums, these are plain ones. You can get them with black pepper. You can get them with garlic, which obviously I can't have. But they are only 5 grams of carbs, 4% of, actually 1 gram of fiber, so that's good. It has iron in it and no cholesterol. Sodium is pretty up there. Yeah, I'm already reading that for you, Sandy, because I knew you were going to ask, all right? So what did you ask? Let me see. Carbs are 2% carbs, which is, pretty good. Better than a lot of things. And then I'm going to turn them over. So I did 1 minute. I'm going to turn them over and do another 30 seconds. And that'll be done. Great minds think alike, Sandy. Remember that. So we have done the bread rolls. Put those away. I've just got them, the bread rolls I've got covered like this because I find if you cover them while they cool down, then they get a little softer. Now, there's a reason why I want to cook these, other than the fact I want to taste test them. I want to compare them with something. And the reason I want to do this is because quite often when I want a snack, I will make papadums, and I just want to make sure that I'm making the right choice. For example, these are Tostito rounds, and I think that's made of corn, right? And let's see the difference. The fat in here is 20%. the fat in... I've got my glasses with me. The fat in here was 1%. Big difference, all right? The cholesterol, 0. The cholesterol in here, also 0. Negligible. Carbs in here, 5 grams per serving. Carbs in here, 32 grams per serving. However, they do have, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, whereas these just have iron in them. So, but there's a lot of sodium. What's the sodium? I can almost hear you screaming. 8% sodium per help serving. Interesting that these are more, but they are so thin. All right, so, these still aren't properly cooked. That's unusual. I think we'll miss them a bit more. I'll do it later. But I think you can see, all right, very tasty. And they have a nutty taste to them. They're crispy. And delicious. And so quite often when I feel like indulging myself, I will cook up a few of these and just eat them instead of eating these sort of things. However, I also wanted to say, what about chow mein noodles? Some of you probably use chow mein noodles to snack on, especially maybe at this time of the year. So let's have a look. 8% fats. Carbs are 14 grams, 4% fiber, no sugar. 5 grams of cholesterol. This had 0 cholesterol. Sodium, 120 milligrams. And we're talking about a serving being 25 grams. 25 grams is not very much. What's that in ounces, Jody? It's not even an ounce. Right? So that's, I would think, about a quarter of a cup. I could be wrong. Sodium is pretty high as well. So, just some alternatives. How many of you eat papadums? I have eaten papadums even though I don't eat a lot of curry. However, I have decided to up the amount of curry I eat because of the benefits that I now see. Less than an ounce. Okay, thank you. That's what I thought. Oh, that's so good. But I can taste the sodium, which is why I don't have it very often. All right, so we've done the bread. We've done the turkey korma. Now we're going to do the smoothie. This smoothie I really recommend to you. How many of you know I'm going to continue to be very rude and eat this while I do the rest of this? How many of you realize that I didn't warm up the spaghetti squash? What I'm going to do is warm that up after the broadcast and then just put the korma over the top of it. Okay. Now, this smoothie is new to me this week, but I really recommend it. And you can make your own variation of it. Because we have got some coconut milk, I'm going to start with some coconut milk. Nice and easy. I'm going to put in a banana, potassium, and this banana is still fairly ripe. There we go. I'm going to put in some raspberries, antioxidants, Jody. Here. I'm going to put in half a slice of lemon. By the way, I cut up my lemons in half slices and freeze them. Going to put that in. And then I'm going to put in a couple of slices of beetroot. 1, 2, 3 slices of beetroot. Beetroot is iron. 4 slices, actually. And we need some yogurt. So, the yogurt is a probiotic, right? We've got the raspberries, that's good for us. Lemon is good for us. It's an anti-inflammatory. Banana is good, potassium. And then we've got the other stuff. I'll be back. Okay, so I wish you could taste this, because what you've got is the sweetness of the raspberry and banana, and then you've got a little bit of the tartness of the slice of lemon and the beetroot, but you can't taste the beetroot. That's the good news. So, and I know that Manon would love it because it's pink. And how many of you already know that that is full of antioxidants and fiber? And it's a meal unto itself. Yum. It's almost like a sweet and sour drink, which is what I love about it. And I was wondering if you would like me to rustle up some more smoothies when we do these broadcasts. Let me know. But that one, this is my third this week, so you know that I'm enjoying them. And I didn't expect to enjoy it because of the beetroot. I can't taste the beetroot. Some of you will probably throw some spinach in there if you really wanted to get very serious about it. Jody, I'm not sure of all the macros on this one, but I do want to tell you, it's really, really tasty. And good for the taste buds. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, it's surprisingly. And I will keep experimenting. All right, let me just tidy up for a second so I can do the last one. Put that away. Right, now then. The last thing I wanted to show you was something that I cooked up this morning. And again, it was amazingly easy to do, and yet tasty. So I had a packet of ramen. Forget the seasoning packet. Use that in something else later on. You don't need it. And bye, Jeannie. Good to see you. All right. So the problem with ramen is that it has some weird thing in it, and I can't remember. It begins with a T. That is a preservative. So one of the things I recommend is if you're going to cook up ramen, cook it as it says you should. But once you've got it cooked, rinse it off well to get rid of as much of the bad stuff as you can. But if you are on a budget, ramen is really good. I ended up, and I'll tell you exactly what I did. This is what was left over, so I wanted to show you. That's my bacon. I mixed it in with some of those vegetables that you know I have. I had a slice of bacon in there that I chopped up. And so it ended up looking all right. So you see what I did? Now then, what I did is once I had all that together, I mixed up an egg and obviously some more of the chives went in there, and then I mixed it all together in the skillet, and I ended up, turning into what looked like an omelet. And I want to tell you something. It was a great brunch meal, and I got it like this so that I can have it the other half tomorrow. So even half a packet of ramen, and I plated it up with some basil and tomato. So fresh tomato. I want to tell you something, Jody. It was very filling, and it's just half a packet of ramen. But also it's got bacon in it, protein. It's got egg in it, that's protein. It's got a lot of vegetable in it. And I obviously will add more, the tomatoes were added on, and those sort of things. So you can make it much more healthy just by adding extra vegetables to it. Would you ever think to have ramen for breakfast? And very, very cost effective for those of you who are struggling a bit with the cost of things at the moment. I thought I would just try it. And then I now have to tell you something. I'm going to do this probably at least once a week, just because it's a great way to use up leftover vegetables and things. And also it makes a great brunch. And I'm inclined to have a brunch and then a small dinner. And those are my 2 meals of the day. And then I have fruit and cheese and stuff at night. So Just a thought. All right, so I'm going to put those away again. And how many of you were here when I was playing with the cinnamon rolls last week? Not the week before last, I guess. They are my new go-to. And I want to thank you guys for introducing me to them because I'd never had them. What I did this week was literally I just took one of those cinnamon rolls and, rolled it out, and I used it as pastry. And then I filled that up with, apple and raisins and just cooked it, in cupcake liners like this. Just two of those were just so tasty, and they didn't spike my blood sugar. Go figure that one. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe Jody knows why, but I quite surprised. Jody's saying, I never thought of ramen for breakfast, but I love how that looks. Well, again, find out how, try it and find out how Lionel likes it. Because to me, it was, pretty substantial. And you could put avocado and tomato, or maybe even you can put, tomato and cheese on the side, or grapes, you know what I mean? Just add more color to it. I don't know about the rest of you, but as I plate up now, or as I'm cooking, I go, do I have enough colors? I want to tell you, if Benji taught me one thing that has changed the way I eat completely, it is, do I have the colors of the rainbow in what I'm eating? And I think you will know that when I'm eating the korma tonight, it depends, what I put with it. If I have it with maybe some more yogurt and cucumber mixed together on the side, almost as a, to calm it down a bit. It doesn't need calming down. It's not hot. That will be really good. If I had it, I look at all the time, all the color in here, all the reds, reds are good for you. Good point. Jody's saying maybe the cinnamon in those cinnamon rolls helps to bring down the blood sugar. Give me a reason to eat them, Jody. I bought 2 more packets of them. And did you know you're not meant to freeze them? That mixture, that cinnamon roll mixture, don't freeze it. So there we are. That's what I have for you today. I think I covered everything, didn't I? We did the dinner rolls, we did the korma, we did the raspberry beet, and we did the ramen omelet. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. Again, when I go to eat the korma, one thing that I don't have necessarily is a lot of green. And what I've got is some, I buy bok choy, cut it up and freeze it. And so again, just before I serve it, I will nuke a little bit of bok choy and add that on the side. And maybe sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on there, just to give me that extra color of green. Right. Well, I'm hoping that you enjoyed this, guys. Who thought that I could do all of that in an hour and a half? I didn't. In fact, just over an hour. But my goal here is to show you that, we can change things up and do it cheaply. It doesn't have to cost a fortune. And that's really what I am all about, which is how do we, if times are going to be tough, and we know, I want to tell you something. Here in British Columbia, after the flooding that we've had and still have, we are going to have even more problems than we had before. Because, the whole, not only is the supply chain blocked to start with, but now we've got transportation completely gridlocked and it can't get into areas around me. The whole area one of the areas that was flooded is the whole of the agricultural area that is about half an hour away from me in that direction. And, I was saying at lunchtime that area that was flooded in that torrential rain, we had more rain in 24 hours than we normally have in a month. And it came down. It was like the heavens just opened and it dumped rain and it kept dumping it. I said it was like God opened up a fire hose. Well, thank you. Jody's saying you've shown us how to eat so well on a limited funds and limited supplies. I am all for finding different ways that we can not waste food. All right, that's what I want to do. So if you've got some chicken or turkey or beef or whatever left over at the end of a meal, repurpose it. If you've got vegetables left over, repurpose it. Every time I if I use a skillet, before I put it in to be cleaned, I put a little bit of water in there and warm it up and then create broth. All right. Also in here, I have got some vegetable water. I was cooking some vegetables, steaming them. But what I did was I kept the water. And so now what I've got is this. When I want to make soup, I will use this as the base. All right. And it already has a lot of flavor to it. You can smell it, the vegetable flavors. And also it just means that I am using less of other things. So another way to save a lot of money. I keep a big jar in my fridge. And just, if I want to make gravy, I would use it as a base. Think about that. I did this the other week, and I want to just remind you all, if you've got peanut butter and it's got oil at the top, siphon off the oil and keep it and use it. It's great oil to cook chicken in, or, if you think about it, peanut oil is just like, thank you. Now, obviously, if you need to stir it into the peanut butter because it's not, hasn't got enough moisture in it, then I understand that. But, quite often it's got more than enough, and you can just use that oil to cook with, and it's a great taste. All right, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this. I am going to stop the broadcast because, as you know, I've been ill, and I'm still trying to recover. And you can probably hear it in my voice. And I can feel now, this happened to me at lunchtime. I was fine for about an hour. And then after an hour, I could feel that my voice was having a problem, which it is now. And my, my temperature is beginning to rise a bit as well. So I'm hoping that you enjoyed it. I'm hoping that you got some ideas. By the way, remember, there are 101, probably 1,001 different recipes for korma. If you really don't want to go through the difficulty of that, you can buy korma already pre-made in a bottle. And if it is too strong for you, just remember, add either cream or yogurt to it and, bring it down a notch. So hope you've enjoyed it. This is DearMamaSal saying we can do this. We can eat really well and cheaply if we choose to. I'll see you on Sunday. Love you all dearly. Thank you for all your support this week and your understanding. It's been a tough week, but I think I'm through the worst of it now. And I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye for now. Thanks, Jody.